What is going on, everyone? Luca Rosano here, back with another video. This is going to be an update video on some things that I want to talk about. Hope everybody's doing well. If you can kindly like this video, it does help the algorithm a ton. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're almost at 27K, guys. So if you can help me get there, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's get into it. And we're first going to start with a Kevin Durant to Toronto Raptors update. The latest coming from Woj, saying that Scottie Barnes continues to be a non-starter for the Raptors in any Kevin Durant discussion. There's certainly been no progress there for Toronto, close quote. And I did a similar video on this last week when Jake Fisher came out and said that the Raptors were unwilling to include Scottie Barnes in trade talks for KD. And Hoops Hype's Michael Scotto had a similar report as well, writing that the Raptors remain hesitant to part ways with Barnes. The problem, the Nets would push for the Rookie of the Year to be involved in any deal for Durant per Scotto. And that's what I said, that the holdup was that the Nets really wanted Scottie Barnes, and the Raptors were like, nah, you cannot have Scottie Barnes. Because if the Raptors were willing to give up Scottie Barnes, something tells me a deal for KD would have already happened. Now, this is what Masai Ujiri said in response to the KD rumors, and I quote, "Honestly, I don't talk about those things as they happen. We're incredibly excited about our team. I'm so excited to see all of our players who will be there and our young players who will be playing in the Summer League. I know one thing. We're going to win in Toronto, and we're going to continue to grow. I'm super confident about that. I know with all the talks, I'm incredibly happy with where our team is and how we'll continue to grow." You look at Scottie Barnes, he averaged 15.3 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists last season, and Barnes did everything. At just 20 years old, we saw Barnes play as a small ball center. We saw him handling the backup point guard duties. So there's no wonder that the Raptors have no interest in sending him somewhere else in the offseason. And speaking about Barnes, he did claim that he has known for some time that he is staying in Toronto long term. Barnes confirmed yesterday that he is in fact off the table and will be a Raptor next season when he said this in response to reports of the Raptors won't including him in Durant trade talks. Now, this is absolutely the right call for the Raptors, given the circumstances and how much potential Barnes has. You simply don't trade him. This has been my take since day one of all of these crazy Kevin Durant rumors. You do not include Scottie Barnes in a trade. He is untouchable. You keep him on the Raptors and you continue to watch him grow. So it's good to see that this stuff has come out, because it just reassures the fact that Scottie Barnes, he's not going anywhere. He can continue to ride that scooter downtown. I know a lot of people have been running into him downtown. I hope I run into Scottie Barnes at some point this summer downtown. He is the face of the franchise. He is happy to be in Toronto. The fans are happy to have him here, and he is only going to get better. So Scottie Barnes is not going anywhere, and the latest reports confirm that. Switching gears now to some other news, there's another superstar who is reportedly on the trade market. I mean, you could argue he's a superstar. Some people will say he's not. But anyways, Woj reports that the Jazz have shown an increased willingness to listen to offers for guard Donovan Mitchell. And I've seen some pictures online of Donovan Mitchell photoshopped in a Raptors jersey. So could the Raptors be in play? Well, while the Raptors may not be frontrunners in the Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes, Vegas sportsbooks aren't counting out the Raptors as a potential landing spot. Toronto now sits at plus 1,000 odds, which is about a 10% chance the organization has of landing Mitchell if he's traded this summer. This is per betonline.ag. Those odds represent the 7th highest in the league, trailing the Knicks, Heat, Celtics, Nets, Lakers, and Warriors. But considering the asking price for Mitchell is going to be steep, this is per Woj, a deal to Toronto seems highly unlikely. You look at Mitchell, he's got mediocre defense, that's not going to fit with the Raptors, and I don't see the Raptors paying a big price for him. The Raptors have more of a need at center, and that will lead me into the last update here, and this involves the center who the Raptors have been linked to, DeAndre Ayden. What's going on with DeAndre Ayden? He is easily the best free agent still available, and his market has been slowed due to his status as a restricted free agent and the Suns' possible pursuit of Kevin Durant. Now it seems like Ayden is finally getting some movement on his next contract. While speaking on ESPN's Get Up, Brian Windhorst said that the Indiana Pacers could sign Ayden as soon as Monday to an offer sheet. Windhorst also said a sign and trade is possible to send Ayden to Indiana. Now, nothing has happened as of yet, but it seems likely that this will eventually come to fruition. DeAndre Ayden seems like he is Indiana Pacers bound. Now, if Ayden does go to the Pacers, this could theoretically take the Suns out of the running for Kevin Durant. Of course, the Suns were trying to figure out of a trade package that involved the likes of Bridges, Ayden, and picks to get KD from the Nets, but the Nets were not biting. And if Ayden is in fact gone from the Suns, then that's one less asset they have to offer. So even without including Scottie Barnes, the Raptors would still be in a position to put together the best package for KD if they're still willing to trade for Kevin Durant. That's if the Nets consider lowering their asking price as time goes on, but we've seen some of the reports and the incredibly high asking price of the Nets, and something tells me that Kevin Durant will be back on the Nets at the start of next season. It's looking more and more likely as the days go on that that is the ultimatum here, because you look at where KD wants to go, the Heat, the Suns, they're going to need outside help anyway. And the Raptors don't want to part ways with Scottie Barnes. So unless the Nets are willing to take something less, I don't see KD being traded this summer. And as for the Raptors, it's looking likely that they will just stay the course and not make any major moves going into next season. They have been linked to a lot of names. Obviously, Rudy Gobert being one of them. He's on the Timberwolves. DeAndre Ayden being another one. Seems like he's going to Indiana. KD being the biggest one. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Donovan Mitchell could be a long shot, but I don't see the Raptors making an aggressive push for Mitchell as well. So the Toronto Raptors are going to run it back with this current team, and that is fine. That is okay. We saw what the Raptors were capable of. We saw all of the signature wins that they got last season. This is a team that you want to see them progress together. This is a team that I think is still scraping the surface, and you're going to be looking at a guy like Scottie Barnes to take that next step in year 2. Let's see how he progresses. Some other players like a Gary Trent Jr. having another full season with the Raptors. Siakam, let's see how he can follow up on his all-NBA season. Fred VanVleet, let's see how he will respond to his all-star season. There's a lot of things to look forward to. So just because the Raptors don't make a big splash this offseason doesn't mean they're not going to be an exciting product to watch on the court. We'll see if anything changes, but I just wanted to give you all of the updates in one video. What is your reaction to all of this? Do you think Kevin Durant will get traded? And what else do you see happening with some of the other names that I mentioned, like Donovan Mitchell and DeAndre Ayden? All right, that is it for me, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. This is Luca Rosano on the mic signing off, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.